What's up, everybody? I'm QB with Culturalist Theory, back at you with another album rundown. Today we're covering Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, and composer Robin Thicke, the son of Canadian actor Alan Thicke, best known for his role in the 80s sitcom Growing Pains. Robin has produced a total of 8 studio albums since his solo career began in 2002. We're gonna rank all of them from worst to first, so before we get started, make sure you subscribe, turn on those notifications if you haven't done so already so you don't miss a list, and consider leaving us a super thanks so we can keep the lights on. With all that out the way, let's get to it. Number 8, A Beautiful World. You could be forgiven for believing that the evolution of Robin Thicke was his first outing because Cherry Blue Skies was largely ignored upon its initial release in late 2002. Following its poor reception, the album was reissued the following year with 2 new tracks, She's Gangsta and A Beautiful World, with the former becoming the updated album title. Future wife-to-be Paula adorned the cover. However, those tweaks in no way were enough to mask this half-baked effort. Peep the videos for When I Get You Alone and Brand New Jones after watching this, and you'll see just how cringy his initial image was. Yikes. Going by last name only at the time, Thicke's throw everything at the wall and see what sticks approach was clearly a significant miss. Lead single When I Get You Alone, which sampled Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, was an odd-sounding mix that did moderately well in regions outside the US. Make a Baby lyrically nor musically will get any woman in the mood to do what the title suggests, while She's a Gangsta sounds about as gangsta as a bouquet of flowers. Shooter and The Stupid Things show the potential Thicke possessed and were both remade on later albums. But about the only reason to play A Beautiful World is out of sheer curiosity. In the words of Randy Jackson, it's a no for us, dog. Number 7, Paula.
You know you done fucked up, right?
Robin was on top of the world following the massive success he amassed just 1 year prior, only to find himself at his lowest following the implosion of his nearly decade-long marriage to actress and childhood sweetheart Paula Patton. Naming the album after her, this was a last-ditch effort to save it, all to no avail. Lock the Door, his account of being on the other side of his wife's good graces, makes for an interesting story if nothing else. You're My Fantasy has a nice little melody going on, with Thicke's Please a Pretty Pretty Please on par with the classic Keith Sweat Begathon. Forever Love is the album finale and the only other song worth your time here. I mean, you know it's pathetic when a grown man is reduced to making tracks with titles like Tippy Toes. Come on now. With Get Her Back being the lone single release, somehow Paula managed to reach number 2 on the R&B and hip-hop charts. It served as Robin's last project through the Star Trek imprint before said label ceased operation entirely. Talk about going out with a whimper. Number 6, Love After War. One thing you can never accuse Robin Thicke of is staying in one lane for too long. So how enjoyable one album is to the next is going to vary greatly. His 5th outing, Love After War, arrived 2 years after 2009's Sex Therapy, and they couldn't have had more different vibes. That turned out to be one of his best albums, which is how Love After War ends up being in our number 6 spot. Just as it was on the 3rd album, Lil Wayne gets the honor of having the only guest appearance, this time on Pretty Little Heart. Mission is certainly a song to set the mood right for some good loving. The album's title track is enjoyable and retrospectively sounds like it would have fit perfectly on that Paula project. Ditto for What Would I Be? What ultimately holds back Love After War is its unevenness. For every nice groove like All Tied Up or I Don't Know How It Feels to Be You, we either get wackiness like I'm an Animal, where he laughably spells it out for us in a song, or boring songs like Boring. Just take what's good here for your best Robin Thicke playlist and leave the rest by the wayside. Before pursuing a solo recording career, Robin was known to write and produce for other artists, including Brandy, Brian McKnight, and Christina Aguilera. He's also done some covers and tributes here and there, including Day One Friend featuring Rhapsody, upon the passing of one of his early industry mentors, Andre Harrell. After we lost Whitney Houston, he did a cover of her classic Exhale Shoop Shoop. If you happen to hear his rendition of it, let us know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Number 5, Something Else. After completing a successful evolution on his prior project, Robin managed to keep going in the right direction with album number 3, 2008's Something Else. He arrived back on the scene with feel-good lead single Magic, and then had the smooth, mid-tempo Sweetest Love ready to go right behind it. Being the ladies' man that he is, Lover Man and My Baby speak directly in their ears and to their hearts. The unexpected funk session on Hard on My Love is definitely repeat worthy, with his rocking electric guitars and horns, whereas Tie My Hands featuring Lil Wayne gets by on a more pared back sound, with Wayne reflecting on the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Through and through, Something Else is a good playthrough with only the occasional skip here and there, proving that his previous hit was not a fluke. The album peaked at the 3rd position on both the Billboard 200 and hip hop and R&B charts. Number 4, On Earth and in Heaven. Returning from his longest break in between albums yet, 2021's On Earth and in Heaven is a short and sweet 10 tracks plus an interlude to remind the world that he hasn't faded into oblivion. Robin sounds great on Forever Mine, his nod to the OJ's classic of the same name, and the neo-retro vibes continue on the flute and horn laced Beautiful. Ola is another upbeat jam for all the lovers out there to enjoy and run back. Old Buddy and pal Pharrell Williams even returned to produce Take Me Higher, which is sure to make you want to get up and dance. Number 1 adult R&B chart topper, That's What Love Can Do, actually dropped 2 years prior, so of course it had to be included here. But the best song overall goes to Look Easy, where Robin finds himself in awe of a woman who can still be loving in a world that is cold and heartless. You could have easily overlooked or been unaware that Robin had even re-emerged when this came out, but the 30 minutes or so it'll take to experience on Earth and in Heaven is time well spent. Hard to believe, but we're now approaching a full decade since the release of Robin's most infamous song, Blurred Lines. So after all this time, what are your thoughts on the original unedited video of this track? Or that MTV Music Awards performance where Miley Cyrus twerked all over him like there was no tomorrow? What's your take on how that compares to what we see on award shows and videos in the present? Let your fingers do the talking in the comments. And now on to the top 3. Number 3, Sex Therapy, The Session. Robin's confidence was clearly on 1,000 by the time he dropped his 4th LP, Sex Therapy, The Session, right before Christmas 2009. There's also a deluxe version with the subtitle The Experience that arrived in tandem with the session. Definitely go straight to the deluxe version of this album, as it includes Brand New Love, The Sensual Mona Lisa, and the Starts With a Kiss interlude that helps tie together the whole concept of the experience. The album's title track, Sex Therapy, finds Rob cooing effortlessly at the top of his falsetto, and if you check out the related video, you'll see where his motivation came from. Sneaky Leak Marvin Gaye vibes run wild on Make You Love Me, boasting he can do it better than her boyfriend ever could. Thicke continues to summon Marvin Gaye on $1 Million Baby in damn good fashion, and it wouldn't be the last time either, but more on that momentarily. So all the ladies out there, here's some free game on how you can keep your man right where you want him. But don't thank us, thank Rob. Seriously though, on top of just being fun, It's in the Morning is also one of the most earnest songs ever made. Throw in Snoop Dogg's laid back flow in the mix, and you can't help but sing along with it. Tracks with Nicki Minaj, Jay-Z, and The Game also warrant heavy rotation. The same can't be said for Just Right or the Kid Cudi assisted Elevators though. Sex Therapy climbed all the way to number 2 on the hip hop and R&B charts, and overall, it's a very solid addition to Robin's catalog. Number 2, Blurred Lines. Okay, so we could easily spend the majority of this segment deep diving into the title track alone. However, there are at least 10 other tracks that comprise Robin Thicke's 6th album, depending on your preferred version. In short, it's a non-stop party save for the tracks like For the Rest of My Life and The Good Life. The songs immediately following the Grammy-nominated title track certainly don't match its addictive nature, as things don't heat back up until the midway point approaches. Get In My Way, Go Stupid For You, and Give It To You featuring Kendrick Lamar are easily your go-to jams on this album. Concerning all the deluxe version tracks, Put Your Lovin' On Me is the only one worth checking for. Robin got robbed by 2 Chainz for that lazy ass verse he threw up on that Give It To You remix. Now, as for the elephant in the room, yes, the single Blurred Lines featuring Pharrell Williams and T.I. is the one that tore the roof off for Robin Thicke. #1 hit in more than 20 countries, including an undefeated 12-week reign at the #1 spot on Billboard Hot 100 in 2013, multiple nominations and award show wins, eventually earning a diamond selling certification. However, all of that success didn't come cheap, as they were hit with a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for copyright infringement on Marvin Gaye's Gotta Give It Up. Being that this wasn't the first time Robin dug in the Marvin Gaye bag, we can only speculate as to why they didn't initially clear the usage of the material this time around. We probably placed Sex Therapy in front of Blurred Lines if not for its massive impact and mostly good vibes. But there's still one other album that outshines them all. #1, The Evolution of Robin Thicke. After his first run out the gate flopped harder than an NBA player trying to draw a foul, Thicke dusted himself off for a second try in 2006. The resulting turnaround from his debut was on par with the one the Fugees made from Blended on Reality to The Score. While not quite as iconic, The Evolution of Robin Thicke was a jolt to the chest needed to resurrect his career. A label change from New American Interscope to Pharrell's Star Trek imprint, a refined image, and more focused sound all put Robin on the path to stardom. The album kicks off proper with an extra chill collab featuring Faith Evans, Got to Be Down, while Everything I Can't Have flipped the script with some super catchy salsa vibes. New best friend Lil Wayne laced 2 joints within All Night Long and Shooter, whereas Pharrell hopped on lead single Wanna Love You Girl, with Busta Rhymes adding some heat to the non-album remix version. However, Evolution is at its best when Thicke's fine-tuned vocals and luscious backdrops come together. This is most evident on selections like Teach You a Lesson, Can You Believe, and his multi-chart topping Love Serenade, Lost Without You, which in turn helped propel Evolution to Platinum Plus status, as well as peak positions on the hip hop and R&B list. Only towards the end of the project does it lose a bit of steam, especially with the completely unnecessary cocaine. But when it's all said and done, The Evolution of Robin Thicke is some of the best blue-eyed soul that's ever come to pass. All right, and that's gonna do it for us here today. Once again, I'm QB for Culturalist Theory. Holler at us in the comments below about what you thought about the list. Tell us whether or not we got it right. Just take it easy on us this time. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one.